Welcome everybody to Command Combat Battle Reports, and today we are doing Relic Worlds Showdown. This is an expansion to Savage Worlds Showdown that I invented. It's available on Wargame Vault and GameCrafter, and the cards expansion is available on DriveThruRPG. It's based on my Relic Worlds series, which is basically like Indiana Jones in space. Players choose a faction, build small groups with that faction, and go out hunting for treasure and shooting at their enemies, which are of course the other players. Alright, so here is the board. It's some alien jungle on the right, the ruins of a village in the center, and a volcano on the left. We call that Breakup Mountain because I spent so much time and money building it that that's almost what happened with me and my girlfriend. One of the factions is the Space Pirates. You have a group of minions at the front that are raiders. They're great at hand-to-hand combat and okay at shooting. Behind them you have the captain on the right and an infamous pirate on the left. The infamous pirate is very agile and able to do a bunch of funky things. The captain is very good at leading her troops. We also forgot we have one other hero back there, and that will be Otto. He's basically their tank. He's very good at taking damage, and he has a very good sniper rifle named Vera. It is his very favorite weapon. Here are their stats, and on the far left you can see extras. That's something special that the pirates have. They spent a point to have what's called booty. It means at the end of the game, they will get extra points for one of their items. The pirates also get extra points for mundane items that they find. So watch for them trying to recover those. The other side is the corporate army, and they are the best fighters in the game. They're very well armored and very well trained. At the front, they have their group of minions, which are a bunch of soldiers. You've got the general behind them on the right. Directly to his left, the guys in red are a weapons team. We don't have the miniature for the machine gun, but basically when they fire as a team, they fire long range and a whole lot of shots. And behind them is a mechanical walker. It's actually the one unit that costs 2 points because it's so powerful. The special way for corporate armies to get points is by clearing off areas of the board. So watch for them going around mowing down everything. These are their stats. The general basically is able to make his other troops more effective. The armored walker, as I said, is large, gets a couple of attacks per turn, and can really slam on things. The soldiers in this case are corporate, so they get the toughness of +1, and the weapons team, as I said earlier, is a heavy laser, which is basically the machine gun. And the first turn begins with the pirates moving straight down the board. They're not gonna mess with these corporate army types. The corporate army, meanwhile, is moving down the board, but sending their soldiers toward the mushroom area. The mushroom area in this particular board has a special rule where there is a guaranteed relic within it, but they have to fight their way through the mushroom men. And the soldiers have broken into the mushroom clearing, being attacked by the tough little mushroom men who are pounding on them, but they're so cute. They're killing them with their cuteness. In the first turn though, nobody's gotten killed. Just one of the corporate soldiers has gotten shaken. The pirates meanwhile are getting close to the ruins. They've broken out of the woods. The corporate army is trying to get out of those woods, but they've been a bit slower at moving. The pirate run rolls have been 6s, while the corporate run rolls have been 1. However, the general has found a mundane item in the woods. It's a bunch of jewels worth 2d4 electros, that's points, at the end of the game. The pirates have moved in on one of the ruined houses, and inside they have found 2 relics. Now that is extremely rare. That has been very good luck for them, especially at the beginning of this. It is a power crystal, which increases the damage of one weapon, and a holy symbol, which is automatically 5 victory points. That is actually a lot of points to start off with. So both sides have had some luck at the beginning of this game. And now the corporate units have come out of the woods, they have a clear shot at the pirates. This is with both the heavy weapon and the heavy walker. They have a clear line of sight, and wow, wipe out 3 of the pirate raiders. The pirate raiders really don't have much of a chance coming back at them. First of all, their turn didn't come up until a little later, and besides, they only have laser pistols, which really would be no match to those heavy weapons that the corporate army is coming with. Basically, it's never a fair fight between pirates and corporate armies, so the pirates are doing the right thing by trying to avoid them and going after treasures to make as many points as they can. The soldiers, meanwhile, are having a tough time with the mushroom men. They've lost 2 of their soldiers and taken out only 1 of the mushroom men. Those mushroom men are really tough. Otto maneuvers through the building, followed by the captain, who hands him the power crystal to power up Vera. Otto takes a shot at the armored walker and wounds it twice. That is a severe hit. That armored walker has a lot of armor on it, a lot of toughness. It's hard to get 1 wound, let alone 2, and all in 1 turn. It only has 4 wounds, so 2 more and it is destroyed. The general, meanwhile, is ignoring the armored walker and has gone up to one of the temples. He has revealed a monster and a mundane item. Now, whenever you reveal 2 discoveries at the same time, you go traps, monsters, then treasure. So he's going to face the monsters first, and they are sharp-clawed creatures. They're jumping out at him and the heavy weapon next to him. The heavy weapon may be really powerful at long range, but they are not good hand-to-hand fighters. The soldiers, meanwhile, still had a little bit of trouble with those mushroom men. Another one of them got shaken, but they took the last one down. And they went in to find out what the treasure was in the middle, and they got exoskeleton arms. Those make you powerful for hand-to-hand combat, which apparently they needed to fight these mushroom men. And the game continues. The armored walker is maneuvered behind one of the buildings. It's shaken and wounded. It needs a little bit of a break. The soldiers are running to catch up with their general. They got a very high running roll, so they're basically trying to get in there to help him. And the general has gotten wounded twice. He really isn't that tough, and he is being tackled by 3 of these monsters. The heavy weapon, meanwhile, has turned to face their monster and is taking it down. The pirate captain with the remaining raiders maneuver over to a building, and a giant worm has emerged from the ground to make them his dinner. Or her dinner. We don't discriminate. Meanwhile, the infamous pirate is making a break for Breakup Mountain. Heh. He has to first go through the Skull Cave, and he's lucky enough to find a mundane item. Mundane items are valuable to pirates because they're able to sell them for more than other factions can, and therefore the mundane items are worth more points to them. And it's precious metals, so they're gonna get 1d4 points, plus another one because they're pirates. Otto is now picking off the soldiers who are unaware of his presence. The rest of the soldiers, meanwhile, have shot down the rest of those sharp-clawed creatures so that the general can go in and explore what's inside. And he finds a common item. This would be valuable to the pirates, but is worthless to the corporate army. So all that fighting was for nothing. The armored walker has come back from being shaken and maneuvered around the corner of that building to help take down that worm or kill those pirates. It's all the same to him. And it looks like both have been accomplished. The pirates took down the giant worm, but then the armored walker came around that corner and shot down both of those remaining raiders. This is bad news for the pirates. Their entire minion group is gone, and the captain is exposed out there in the open. She jumps behind that building to take cover, and Otto moves out to face the armored walker. He takes close aim, and he fires, causing a 3rd wound on it. One more and that armored walker is down. Meanwhile, the general is leading the weapons team past the ruins and towards Breakout Mountain. One of the weapons team member has set off a trap, and it's a hole. He has fallen inside of the hole. He's taken a little bit of damage, but the worst thing is he's stuck in it. The soldiers, meanwhile, move in on one of the other ruins, and they also trigger a trap. This has been a bad turn for the corporate army. It's a blast, blowing up in their faces, and it kills the remaining 2 soldiers. Both sides have lost their minions in this one turn. This has just been devastating. This whole game has been deadly. There really aren't that many pieces left on the board. Now the general is leading the 2 remaining members of the weapons team up the hill, and they have found another mundane item. This time it's a very valuable item, so it was worth it to them, and they didn't even have to fight for it. The pirate captain, meanwhile, has had some bad luck, as a group of local space pygmies have jumped out of that statue and are surrounding her, attacking her on all sides. This was apparently the natives of the area, and they are not happy at being invaded by pirates and a corporate army, so they're taking out their wrath on her. Meanwhile, the infamous pirate has made it to the entrance of the cave inside a Breakup Mountain. He's soon gonna be able to go in there and get all the treasures within. And Otto remains standing out there in the open and shot down the armored walker. The corporate army's most powerful unit is down. And now we go on to the next turn. The infamous pirate has gone inside and is now next to the treasure, but he ran to get there, so he's gonna have to wait for next turn to take an action and try to claim anything from it. The general, meanwhile, is going across the rickety bridge over the lava, and the weapons team behind him is set up, ready to shoot the pirates from above. The captain is behind the cover of that statue, but she's getting wounded by the pygmies. She took a couple of them down, but they're chopping away at her. The corporate army may not have to even deal with her, as the natives seem to be doing a good enough job of that themselves. Now Otto comes to the rescue and starts shooting more of the pygmies down. And the corporate general has now gotten inside of the dungeon. Both sides have a hero inside of Breakup Mountain where you can get the most powerful treasures. The infamous pirate has gone up to some bowl there and has managed to pull out a common item and a heavy sidearm. The pygmies are continuing to chop away at the captain, causing another wound. Otto has gotten up on top of the bridge, but instead of shooting down one of the pygmies, he took down one of the members of the heavy weapons team. There's only one of them left. They fired back at him though, and managed to put a wound on him. And now the infamous pirate has moved further into the dungeon. He's almost to the largest goal that was in the center of it. The general, meanwhile, has stopped at another treasure chest and opened it up to find a container and obscuring ware. The obscuring ware will make it harder for him to be hit, so when he runs into the infamous pirate, he'll probably be protected. Outside, meanwhile, the captain comes out of being shaken and takes out the rest of the pygmies. The weapons team member who was in the hole has managed to climb out and is going to his partner. But that's not really going to matter, because the infamous pirate has gotten to the final goal, which is covered in cat hair. He opens it up, and he finds eyewear for weaknesses and speed bracers. He's probably gonna need them because the general has come around the corner, he shoots at him, he causes a wound. The infamous pirate is wounded. The weapons team fires, and they wound Otto again as well. And that might make things a bit more exciting, but the game has come to an end. We have reached our maximum number of turns, and this is the final setup. This was a bloody one. There were a lot of wounds, a lot of kills, and a lot of treasures recovered. Let's take a look at what they got and the final score. The pirates managed to get away with a holy symbol, 2 common items, which includes precious metals, plus remember they also chose booty, so they got an extra point from one of their mundane items. A heavy sidearm, speed bracers, eyewear for weaknesses, and a power crystal. They managed to also get a sneaker in there apparently, at the bottom. Their final score is seen there on the screen. The corporate army meanwhile got away with obscuring wear, and a bunch of common items, including a valuable item, a very valuable item, and jewels. That would have been even more powerful for the pirates. But as it is, they did get a number of points which are seen there on the screen, but it wasn't enough. The pirates have won this. Well, we certainly hope you enjoyed this battle. We certainly enjoyed playing it, and we hope you'll go take a look at it on Kickstarter. Our Kickstarter will be running from May 27th throughout June until June 25th, and after that it'll be available as Relic Worlds Showdown. Look for it on relicworlds.com, or on Wargame Vault, or on GameCrafter. Thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe. Hope you all enjoyed it, and happy gaming, everybody.